With me today is Melodie Cuate. She is the author of Journey to Gonzales. She is also a teacher. She won the 2006-2007 Lyndon Heck Howell Outstanding Teacher of Texas History Award. She says she has three passions: teaching, writing, and Texas history. And I think she's managed to combine all three in Journey to Gonzales.
Thank you.
Now, what inspired you to write about Gonzales?
It was the first battle of the Texas Revolution, and I had done Alamo and San Jacinto, and I knew Gonzales came first, but there were three Alamo defenders that were very young: Will King and Johnny Gaston and Galba Fuquay, and they were 15, 16, and 17-year-olds, and I was really curious why they went to the Alamo to defend it. Their motivations just really intrigued me, and I thought that I wanted to do more with those characters.
Mm-hmm. Now, the way you get into these stories involves some present-day teenagers and a very mysterious trunk in a history teacher's house. So why did Noah decide to go back to the Battle of Gonzales?
Nick decided that he wanted to change history. He had met a young drummer boy in the Battle of San Jacinto, and he found out that he died there. And there was actually a drummer boy that died, and that character was based on that person. And so Nick thought, well, being Nick, it's time to change things, make things my way, and I'm going to do what I can and bring my friend back.
Mm-hmm. And in spite of him being such an outrageously terrible brother, his sister decides to come rescue him.
Oh, well, Hannah's the responsible one, and she loves history, and she's always ready for another adventure.
Mm-hmm. And she drags her best friend along.
Now, Jackie doesn't like to go on these trips.
No.
This is like, not Jackie would like to go to the mall, not right. Back in time. And,
yeah, especially if you're going to have to deal with an outhouse or something like that.
Exactly.
So, obviously, you've done a lot of research for the first two books. Did you have to do more research for this one?
I think maybe a little bit less, but we had to take a trip to Gonzales and actually walk in the area where things happened and talk to the people. It's the spirit of Gonzales still lives there, and a lot of these people that had something to do with the Texas Revolution, their descendants still live in Gonzales, and there was such a spirit. When we walked around, people welcomed us. We had a tour of the city, and there were, I don't know, numerous ghost stories of the different places that we visited, and it was just, it was such a interesting community that the words flowed after that.
Mm-hmm. Well, in fact, you incorporated a ghost or two.
In the beginning. In the beginning of the story, and in the end, again, the ghost reappears, but he comes out of the trunk in a cloud of mist and forms himself into the shape of a soldier on horseback. And scares the girls a little bit. That was fun.
Well, and I thought it was very interesting the way you were able to show both sides of the story, because Nick ends up with the Texians, and Hannah gets picked up by the Mexican militia that's sent.
And they're sure not. They sure don't know what to do with that, but they get a chance to meet the soldados and find out why they're there, and I thought that was something that's not in the history books so much. And Private Ramirez, the one that kind of rescues Hannah from the bank of the river, he actually was a dragoon, and I did research in the Alamo library there on him, and all I could find out was the man and about how old he was, and he had a child that was baptized in the San Fernando Cathedral that would have been about Hannah's age. And I thought, he's perfect. He'll be the fatherly figure to, keep an eye on the girls.
You also included a little bit of Spanish phrases in the back of the book.
Yes.
Now, was that to help Hannah or to help the rest of us when we read the book?
Oh, that's to help, whoever needs that. But my kids, I have several kids that are bilingual where I teach, and you should hear them read in the English and Spanish, and that just flows. And then I have some that they'll give it a good shot because they want to learn another language, and I think it just kind of teases them a little bit.
Now, how do you go about creating teenage characters? To me, they seem to come from another planet.
Well, my daughter's gone through those phases, and watching the kids at school and studying them and looking at, when you go to the mall, you see teenagers, and just, studying from afar and seeing what they like, what they don't like. Brothers or sisters or former students will come back and visit with me, and I'll find out what's going on in their minds and what they like, and they're out there.
Yeah. Yes.
They're out there.
Now, are you planning more books in the series?
I have Journey to Goliad that should be out at the end of April, and I just sent up a manuscript to Texas Tech Press, and that's Journey to LaSalle's Settlement. So that has a little French.
Oh, wow.
That'll be new.
So it sounds like you're going to cover a great deal of Texas history.
I really love to write, and I feel more of a responsibility, especially winning the Western Heritage Award, to further what I can do to teach kids about history.
Well, I think you're doing a great job because the books are very entertaining to read, and maybe the kids will absorb more than they think they're doing.
That's my objective.
That's your objective. Okay. Well, I want to thank you very much for being with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you. Melodie Cuate has been here talking about Journey to Gonzales. This is the second time she has won the Western Heritage Award. This time she gets the Wrangler for 2009. You can find this book in your library and your favorite bookstore.